Okay. Welcome back to Origami Snowman, finally. I know, it's been a little bit since, hang on, 3.5 months since I posted part 1 of my Grapes of Wrath review. It's been rough around here, Bill. Calm down. It's not been that rough. But here's the crazy thing. I am wearing the same exact shirt that I was in the other video. Totally by accident. What a happy thing to have happened. So, Grapes of Wrath by John Steinbeck. I said it was depressing in a good way. Depressing in a good way. It was, that's, first half of the book. I literally got halfway in and I was like, I gotta put this book down. So then I picked up hang on, give me a second. Oh, sorry. The Amazing Adventures of Cavalier and Clay, which also was depressing. And I'm halfway in. You see that's where I'm at? Halfway in, and I had to put it down. And I was like, is this my new thing? I read half a book, and I feel bad about myself, and so I stop. It's not my thing. I did get away from books for a little while, and from making videos. Summers are very busy for me. I train bus drivers, and that's apparently the time when everyone decides they want to drive a bus. They all think, man, these kids need to get back to school. Can I help with that? So that's what we do in the summer instead of read books. But I finally got back to the Grapes of Wrath, and I have feelings about it, man. Great book. Steinbeck is an incredible writer, and it's all about, the family, the Joad family, Yoad, I don't know, this family from Oklahoma. They're traveling across to California. They want to work and they want to make some money so they can feed their babies, and there's just no work to be had. Everybody's going to California for the work, and there's just not enough. And the landowners, they are trying to bring people out so that they can drive wages down, because more workers, less work means lower wages. And it's very calculated, and people are starving, and it's miserable, and it's awful, and it's horribly depressing, and it's this it's this upsetting view of how wealth in this country is not being used to help people. It's being used to gain more wealth, which is stupid and pointless and dumb. Sorry, I got a little preachy, but that's the way I feel about it. Anyway, Grapes of Wrath, horribly depressing. I'm not going to spoil anything, but I think I've probably mentioned in the past that I have feelings about Stephen King, how he ends a book. Sometimes it leaves a little to be desired. Sometimes it comes out of nowhere. Sometimes he just, he'll dress up the most beautiful woman that you've ever seen in an absolutely perfect, absolutely complimentary outfit, and you think, man, this is great. I cannot wait to see how he tops this. And then he puts like a big garish cowboy hat on, and it ruins the whole effect. That was not a great metaphor, but if you've ever read Stephen King to any, like most of his books, you'll know that sometimes his endings it's like a great run-up to a belly flop. Doesn't ruin the rest of the book, it just leaves you a little unsatisfied. This, I understand what Steinbeck is saying. He's saying the human story will go on, regardless. It will go on. But you don't get to know what happens to the family. I'm just going to spoil that. It's sort of the camera follows them, it follows them, the camera stops and watches them go on in the distance, and that's, I wish that's how it ended. It ends, if you've read the book, it's so weird. It's so abrupt and so bizarre. And it left me thinking, you know what, man, maybe they'd all be better off dead. I don't know. Maybe I'm a horrible person. Maybe I'm just depressed. I don't know. But it was an incredible book, and I recommend reading it because it's an American classic. But maybe that's the problem. The things that he says in this book, the fact that they need to be said, the fact that these examples need to be made, in order for us to be able to put words and images and, I don't know, instead of sitting there and looking at what's happening and thinking for 1 second that this is normal and this is acceptable, what he's doing here is he's saying this isn't right. It's not right. It's not right. Good people are suffering. Other good people are watching it happen. And because they can't help, they've decided, let's blame the suffering people. Let's turn and let's make them the villains. And that's how it feels a lot of the time if you're in a situation of need and you know, you feel like not only are you a victim, but you're also to blame. And that's in a lot of ways how this family is treated by all the other people. And it's not just this family, it's hundreds and thousands of families. And this is, you know, this is a good snapshot of kind of how life was back then. And, you know, it's a horrible, horrible, horrible thing that happened. And, you know, we made it through kind of, I don't know what I have to say. I'm so hung up on the ending of this book and how I don't understand how Steinbeck was like, yeah, that's good. That'll do. Yeah, let's just stamp it and be done. It's so bizarre. And I'm not going to spoil it for you, but if you're not going to read this book, Google the ending of this book. And I'm sure somebody much smarter than me will explain why it was important and why it's a beautiful moment. And I'm just like, maybe it's beautiful. Maybe it's a sign of our resilience as, you know, as we're tenacious and we don't give up and we refuse to die and blah, blah, blah. But I don't know. That's not how I felt. That is not how I felt at the end of the book. I felt so sad and I felt so hopeless. And now, am I depressed because I read this book, or did I keep reading this book because I'm depressed? I don't know. There's no way. I'm just chasing my tail anymore. So now, do I go back and finish this one? I don't know. I've still got Brandon Sand. I have not finished Wind and Truth. I've read a few pages of it. I just started, was it the Ken Follett Pillars of the Earth? Is that what it's called? I don't know. The one about they're building a cathedral. I'm only a few pages in, and I really like his writing style. It's pretty good. But Steinbeck, he makes you think, but he doesn't make you think good things. You should definitely read him. Anyway, that's all. If you have thoughts or anything, I mean, there was a huge outcry for part 2. I think part 1 has 3 views. So clearly you guys have been waiting for this. Here it is. You're welcome. Gracious me. Handing off to you. All right. That's all. I don't remember if I had any catchphrases that I ended these. It's been a long time since I made one of these videos. Okay, that's all. I thought the cats would make an appearance. Bill was around here somewhere, and I pointed at him, and I think I made some angry eyebrow gestures at him, and he ran off. So sorry, no cats today. Oh, Gus, he's over there in the window, so that's cool. Anyway, you guys are amazing, wonderful. Look at all the pieces. That's what I used to say. Awesome. All right. Well, maybe you'll see you in the next one. I don't know. 3.5 months from now, we'll see what we see. Goodbye. Boop. Oh, I didn't push the button, but I made the noise. It's fine. You know how it works.